you, Tariq, and thank you, Kay. It's going to be hard talking after Kay. We've been following Kay for some time, and he's a wealth of knowledge and much respect to you, and much respect to the entire country of Singapore, leading the helm of cryptocurrency globally. Just to recap, my name is Khurram Shroff. I recently became chair of iMining, and our symbol on the Toronto Stock Exchange is IMIN. And we are a blockchain and cryptocurrency investment company publicly traded on a stock market. And these figures is very interesting because even though our crypto market is worth $1.5 trillion as per coin market cap, the volume or the trading volume we have seen increase over the last few months and have reached over up to $1.2 trillion in a 24-hour period, which is astronomical. If you look at it like the stock market is, let's say, worth 100 trillion or 50 trillion. 100 trillion stock market doesn't rotate $50 trillion a day. So the volume and the growth and the volatility of crypto is exponential compared to any other. And it's so interesting because we are sort of a bridge between the crypto market and the public market, because we are regulated, we have oversight by the regulators and the different government bodies. So we have to report multiple things that the business does through the life process. And it's interesting to explain to the regulators on what is proof of work, what is proof of stake, how is Bitcoin different, and Ethereum, and the inflationary economics behind it, the legalities behind it. And we have seen in the last 6 months, it's sort of getting more institutionalized, right? And one of the big elephants in the room right now is Elon Musk and what is happening with this Bitcoin Council. And I guess a lot of people cannot speak about it, but we have been very closely involved in it because all the people on the Bitcoin Council are our friends and our investment companies such as Hut 8, Hive, Argo Blockchain, iMining. And but now with the latest message, we are double thinking the intention of the wealthiest man on the planet with the cryptocurrency industry. And the Bitcoin mining community is really being not shortchanged, but being slapped around globally by governments and this aspect of green climate issues that Bitcoin is causing. But it's so interesting to see that there's so many other aspects of our human society that needs to get fixed before we even care about Bitcoin, because it's so negligible. Bitcoin has been so volatile that it has really shown the flaws of different societies and different governments and different mindsets. And, I go back to what our friend CZ or Binance said, Bitcoin is a concept. We're not a corporation, we're not a company, it's a concept in which now, as with 70, 80 million wallets, but at least 500 million people or more understand or know that concept in their brain. So it's going to be very hard for any government in the world to clamp down against it, unless they go with these wallets and you cannot keep it off these centralized exchanges, etc. So it's a very interesting time, and we find ourselves in the middle of the fire in sort of North America, talking to the regulators in both Canada and the United States, and explaining and being more forthcoming on the way crypto can be institutionalized. Canada has led the world in crypto, I believe. Majority of the people who are leading the crypto world are Canadians. And the other thing is we had the first Bitcoin fund listed on any sort of credible exchange of the G7 in Canada. We had the first Bitcoin ETF listed in Canada. And we, at Canada, the regulators, the bankers, are even working together with all the major universities to create a central bank currency called Project X, right? And it's so interesting, going back to Kay's point on what is money, and how are people taking in money. And I was really impressed by one of these analysts who gave us an example of this big rock with a big hole in it, which exists on the Pacific Yap Island. Till the 1960s, it was used as a hold of value or hold of money. So they've got a big rock somewhere in the forest, and the whole community of this island believes that that rock has value. So, and now they have like Hafiz in Islamic culture, where you memorize the whole Quran, or you memorize the whole Hijrah, or you memorize the whole thing. So there are guys who've memorized the whole sort of blockchain, and they know exactly what percentage of the rock is owned by which member of the community, and they just keep on shifting what the percentages of the rock that specific people own, while that rock stays in that same forest, cannot be moved. So it's a very interesting aspect of how I was laughing with him, and I said, this is exactly what blockchain is, because I don't think anyone's seen a Bitcoin. It's everyone that believes that there's a Bitcoin, and we all are transacting part of it or full of it. In terms of what's happening in the investment realm, we've lost our shirt. I mean, we've invested in over 4,000 crypto projects a few years ago. We were very lucky to mine a lot of Bitcoin when it was much easier to mine. And we went in this concept of investing in different companies. But what we realized in these different tokens, but what we realized is that we lost our shirt. And a lot of them were scams and, etc. And we were really, we were analyzing them, but, it was just not the right time. And now we are more investing in public market structures. We believe if we invest in companies which have oversight, invest in companies which are publicly traded, we have a better chance for institutionalizing the economy, institutionalizing the crypto world, and bringing it, making it matter. Until now, it hasn't mattered. And now we have to make it matter, even though we are 1 or 2% of the public markets. The whole crypto industry is 1 or 2% of the entire public market. The public markets are growing at an exponential rate. I mean, there are 700,000 public companies now globally, and within the next year, they're projecting a million. So you're talking about a 30% increase in public companies on a global level. According to our figures, personal figures, no, not from anyone else, we think it's going to double. The amount of volume of capital out there, we believe the public companies are going to go from 700,000 total to about 1.2 million. So now you got this plethora of capital market, which is going to double in size, or at least increase in size by 50%. So we believe crypto market could easily double or triple in size. So, so these are these comparable statistics or thoughts that we have. But we are trying to bridge the gap between the crypto, private, young, scared people globally to a corporate, influential, successful, innovative company which is leading the space with in terms of with the regulators and the legal.